All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and we thought we'd just do a little fishing here at 6153 at Copper, and I'm actually doing a test. Um, this is my main account, obviously, but I'm also doing a test on my alt account, called CozyDawg, that I've been playing for a while now. And we don't have PVA on that, but we do have Copper Lake unlocked. So I'm trying out some different things to see what might work. Since we don't have PVA, just trying to get a little better at like seeing what works, doesn't work, so I can make recommendations for folks that don't have PVA unlocked yet. And so anyway, I will, at the end of this video, not only will you see how we've done here on my main account, but we'll also hopefully have an update for how I'm doing without PVA, and I'll try to like briefly show kind of the setups I'm using. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let's get another fish on here, and then I want to actually sort of show you what I'm using. I will go ahead and tell you what I'm trying on the alt account just while we're waiting here for some bites. I started fishing here at the absolute like hottest time of the afternoon, and it's definitely been a little slow. I also did not do any spot or anything like that to kind of get things started, so we are just waiting for the PVA to kick in and also waiting for the temperature to come down a little bit so that perhaps it will pick up a little bit. But for what it's worth, this is what we're using, the very, very reliable cream corn setup with some pretty standard cream PVA. And we're doing this across the board here on my main account. Now, the tricky thing is, even though we've unlocked Copper, we only really have one decent piece of a carp setup. And so on the alt account, I'm definitely experimenting a little bit with some different things. Nice crucian. And hoping that we will continue to not only make some money so we can get another carp setup going, full carp setup, but also we need to unlock classic pop-up so that we can use corn. Right now we're stuck on classic rig. I guess technically we can use snowman, but right now I'm trying a couple different setups. On our full carp setup, I've started off with just cream pellets, sweet cream pellet 14s, and nothing else, no boiler or anything. And then on the other rod, we have sweet cream pellets with cream 12 boilies, and then we've just got size 20 hook and regular worms on the third rod. Just trying to have something where we can be tossing ground bait in and catching, pretty good bite rate of perch or whatever else, so that ground bait's kind of going in and out on that third rod. I also did toss a few pieces of ground bait in. But here on the main account, we are off to an interesting start. There's a Dinks Linear. Love to see that. It's very early, but so far, a little underwhelming. Decent tench, nice Dinks Linear, and a 10 kilo common. I guess that's not nothing, but we definitely want to see the F1s and continue to see a few dinks mixed in there if we're going to make some pretty good silver. Okay, good to know that we do have some cafe orders that could be things we might see caught in this spot. And let's go ahead and grab this. So let me show you where we are on the map. We're at clip 12 right now. Oh, there's a 716. We are at clip 12, and we are here on the map at Copper. I guess one thing I wouldn't mind doing, or I might consider doing at some point, we'll see how it goes. On the alt account, we could just use some natural baits instead of two boilie setups. We could have natural baits on the middle rod and try to catch a few F1s on leech, or there's other natural baits that can sometimes work. So it might be worth considering that. Well, that orangey was pretty cool, just in terms of seeing a koi come out. All right, this is big because this is another linear dinks. It's interesting. It seems like these are the main dinks that are coming out in this spot. That is another nice fish, especially during happy hour. Another one. Interesting. This spot at Copper, I mean, there's several spots like this, obviously, but this spot at Copper has been so good for so long. Take a quick peek back at the cafe now that we've caught a few things. Might make a little more sense on, yeah, so like this tench order makes sense. This F1 makes sense. We're actually on our way on the Crucian carp we want to be. What is nice is that I actually caught a 1.5 kilo F1 on Cozy, the alt account, on regular worm. Also caught a 1 kilo bream on worm. I mean, it's just kind of like, again, just a nice little bite rate over there. The boilie setups are so slow without PVA. I'm thinking, there's another nice tench. I'm thinking I'm gonna switch that first oily setup I told you about where we were just trying the cream pellets, which honestly it seems very slow. I think we've had one bite on that the whole time we've been fishing. I might switch that to a snowman rig so that we can get corn out there. Oh, okay, we have a big fish on. So one of our, so this setup has a Pulsar 6000 with obviously just nowhere near the strength we need to try to pull in a fish, whatever size this is. So we're just gonna have to let it sit there, either let it get off or hope that we can wear it out and eventually get it in. But if you can get it in on a mid-level account like Cozy, it ends up being like, you know, a dinks or something like that, then I mean it's a big deal, right? Certainly a lot of silver. Even if it's a common carp or a mirror carp, if it's a decent size, big deal. Ooh. I think this is another linear. Oh my goodness. The amount of linear we're catching here is just phenomenal. And we still have just no control over this fish at all. He's still just chilling over there, doing whatever he wants. Ooh, love to see. Love to see the F1. All right, let me try to get a read on this, see if this fish is coming in at all. I don't think so. What happens if I lock it up? I might just break this reel, but you know, if it breaks, right? Oh crap, fish got away. Okay, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I wish that didn't happen, but it's gonna happen sometimes. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna switch this other one out to Snowman. See if we can just get a few more bites. Oh, it actually is getting another bite. Sorry, I don't know. Is this frustrating that I'm just having to give play-by-play? Okay, worm just caught a decent bream, 1.8 bream. And we did finally catch a fish on the pellets only, but I'm going to go ahead and switch it now. What is this? This is a common carp, about 3-4 kilos. Yeah, 4.3 kilos. So we're going to switch this one to Snowman. We're going to do corn. What is going on? This is a serious fish. And I don't want it taking off to the left here. So cut it out. Go back the other way. Okay, we've got everything set up over there like we want it. Well, this could be a nice happy hour fish. It would be nice to get a clue as what it is, but probably not there yet. I think it's so in my opinion, it's a carp that is willing to just kind of sit there and hang out, not the kind of carp that wants to actually run on you. If I didn't pull hard against it, in fact, I don't know that it would run at all. Oh, I'm just realizing that this light isn't on, and that's part of why my chroma has been struggling like it has been. That's a weird line for us to have on this. Not the normal line I use normal in terms of the red camo. Guess we can slowly start walking back this way. Definitely not coming back too far to the left now. It's back in that corner. I think we'll just go out to this dock right here and just kind of sit. Got other fish on. Looks like we're catching the first fish on the snowman rig since putting it in on the alt account. And it appears to be, I can't see it clearly. I think it's a dinks. Yeah, so that's a linear 9,000 XP. That's a nice little linear there on the alt account. So switching to that snowman so far seems like a good play. See if it continues. And we just hit 56.4% on bottom rig. Now over here on main account, we're just sort of pulling this fish towards us very slowly but surely. He is, I was gonna say he's mostly not pulling line on us anymore, but when he wants to, like this, he still can. I still don't think we really have much control over him. We'll see if he agrees to start coming in or if he keeps turning his head and going elsewhere. I really just want to know what the fish is, because I think that does determine right now how aggressive we want to be. If this is a really nice fish, like a linear or, you know, something like that, we want to be so careful. If this is a common or a mirror or whatever, then, you know, we more just want to get it in so we can keep catching other fish. But, all right, he's running left. I think he's finally tired enough that we're pretty much just pulling him in. But I still can't see what he is, and I don't want to start hitting like right click and like pulling him up. But not that deep out there. We should get a view of him pretty soon. All right, so let's just sit this like this, and let me try to get some of these fish in on the alt account real quick. Second fish on snowman seems to be a little crucian or something. Actually, it's a tench. Got a little rough in this spot on the worms. I mean, really, the different species we're catching on worm, just like everywhere else, it just really works, you know? And this looks like a decent a decent tench on the classic hair rig. So remember, we have one classic hair rig still in, one snowman, and then one just small hook with a worm, which is actually on an inline rig. We have not unlocked loop rig yet. All right, we should start to see it. Oh, it's a mirror carp. So that would have, wait, that is mirror, right? Or is it leather? So based on the way it first started pulling away from us, my guess would have been mirror. But I think this actually is a leather. Yeah, that's a pretty leather carp. Unfortunately, trophy leathers are so big, I don't think that's what this is, but it's still a nice fish. Nice happy hour fish. This might be my biggest leather here at Copper, but maybe not. We've had some decent ones, I think. $22.6 leather carp. My goodness. All right, let's see really quick what's been sitting here on these other lines. Common carp. Another leather. I like that the leathers are somewhat active right now. Leathers and linears. I mean, you could do a lot worse in terms of money and XP. And just fun catching some rare carp. That is very cool. Alright, so we did get another fish on the classic hair rig. And it appears to be a very small mirror carp. So not even marker size. And I am out of these sinking boilies. Now I'm trying to move to this account being pretty self-sufficient now that it's got unlimited access to copper at a low level. So CozyDawg is only level 22 after that last trip to Norway we did. But, and we did get the Avia reel, which put us back to pretty much 0 silver. But then just to be able to make videos or at least like do some comparison like what we're doing right now, I did unlock copper. And what is this? So now that we're at copper, making, you know, decent silver, even though we don't have PVA, we still have one really nice carp setup with the Avia. And we still have like the Saber 60 and the Pulsar. We just don't have a third carp rod to put the Pulsar or the Saber 60 on, so we really only have 2 carp setups, and one of them is an undersized carp setup because of the, you know, Saber 60 and Pulsars. I mean, they are not ideal in terms of carps, even here at Copper. Much less than ideal, obviously. None of these F1s are perfect for this order. I'm looking at the cafe order. Oh, we're 1 bream away. Man, I don't know that we're going to get it now. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and turn these cafe orders in because it's good silver and we need it to buy some more boilies because we ran out of boilies. So let's look at, we've been using the Sweet Cream 12 for sinking boilies. I think that's one I want to keep using. Or at least have the option to. Maybe next time we do this, All right, there's 60 of those. We'll just spend a little bit on those. Next time we do this, maybe I will try leech, natural bait leech, or maybe a couple other natural baits too. Rotate on one of the rods instead of doing 2 carp setups. Carp rigs. We'll see. We'll see how this ends up going, I guess. I think leech are actually doing pretty good. If F1s are active in a spot, it seems like leech is not bad. Ooh, a barbel. Pincher, nice. We could see a tinge on these worms too. Oh, I think this is a bream. Or is this a small? Yes. We just did the bream cafe order, guys, on this alt account. So just remember, when I show you the results on the alt account, I've turned in at least 3 cafe orders. F1 Tinch and now bream. So that's like, what, 120 something silver at least. And those fish will be missing from the results. I can't believe we actually got enough to do this bream order. Oh, that's 65 silver by itself. That's 105, 120, about 120 silver just in these 3 cafe orders. Another leather? Wow. I don't know. I'm telling you, like, we would do okay even if we just fished with three setups with just worms. Like, that's how good copper is. You don't. All right, we've been going, what, 37 minutes? I'm actually not going to be able to get a full hour in for this time at least, because I've got I'm going to watch my son playing a baseball game. So I need to find an ending time, but let's try to make it till, like, I can't believe these leathers. Let's try to make it till 10 a.m. Before we stop. So see this bream order, we were able to finish that on the alt account. And really, if we'd have thrown worms in on all three, we could have done that rough order. 24 silver rough order. I'm just curious, like, how we're doing right now. Oh, yeah. 449. I mean, this is just sick. This is so good right now. It's like 38 minutes. Holy cow. Very good. We haven't even been through like the daytime yet. We just did the slow beginning overnight, the first part of this morning. Very good. Telling you, if you haven't tried like just size 20 hooks and worms at copper and you want to have an interesting experiment, I think you'll be surprised some of the fish you'll catch. Oh, CozyDawg hits level 23, folks. Leather carp. I'm going to be curious to look over these results with you all in just a minute on Cozy to try to figure out which of these setups are better. I might have to do a longer test because I've only been on one setup for the whole time. The other setup I switched halfway through on Cozy. I think next purchase on Cozy actually needs to be a rod. And at this point, making the kind of silver that you make at copper, we'll probably go ahead and get a really nice rod, like not another Mecta, basically. We'll probably do well, let me look at the load capacity of Mecta. We do already have 2 Mectas, so it's kind of tempting to finish that set. I mean, load capacity is 25. Maybe we will just do a third Mecta. Save a little silver. I mean, we're not going to want to do more than 25 power. We might, since we got that Avia. If we end up getting Avias or... Oh my goodness, we just caught... You're not going to believe this, guys. I'll save it for the review, but this is crazy. Wow. Okay. We have made it to 10 a.m. As much as I don't want to, because the fishing is so good, I think we need to wrap this up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... I'm going to... Let's go sell fish on this account. And then we'll switch over to the main account, to my Cozy account, so I can show you kind of how we did, but on this computer, so that you can actually see it instead of just hearing me talk about it. So, all right, let's go back here. Double check cafes. I don't think we have anything unless a weird cafe switch just happened. We never made it here. We were 1 off on the Crucian order. That's okay. And we really have only caught a couple more fish since last time we looked. So, yeah, 483 plus the cafes. Very good. 35, 45 minutes, however long it was. We'll take that every time. What's really impressive are those linears and dinks linears. Sorry, leathers and linears. Just how many of those we were catching. That just guarantees to me that the hour's going to be pretty good. We also had this nice orangey, so we will take that for sure. 483 silver. Okay, now let me switch over and I'll show you Cozy's results. Okay. So here we are back on Cozy's account. Obviously we just hit level 23, as you can see. And we did get some cafe orders filled. Interestingly enough, I think we could have leaned into this and done rough. I'll have to remember that about that spot. And probably most spots here at Copper if we want to in the evening. Just like hit that really quick. But let's look at this. Okay. So the best fish we caught, first of all, the overall 204 silver. Remember on my main account, I was kind of prioritizing my main account. There were definitely times when I had a fish on my alt account and didn't go over there. But I mean, obviously the main account's gonna make more silver per hour with PVA and with having the equipment to efficiently fish. We're definitely hamstrung a little bit, and I'll show you what we're using. But still a very good silver amount for, you know, about 30 minutes of fishing. Oh, I can't see it from here. That is a bummer. So this orangey was actually caught on worm. Regular worm, which I thought was fascinating. Okay, so let's just sort by weight. So leather carp on sweet cream pellets 14, sweet cream 12. So that was our classic hair setup we used the whole time. Dinks linear on sweet cream 12, cream flavor white. That's the snowman rig I'll show you in a second that we used about half the time. So about 15 minutes. We did have a decent bream here on sweet cream 12 and cream flavor corn again. And then our biggest F1 was on cream pellets 14, cream 12 boilies. And like I was saying, the worm caught the orangey. But it was actually pretty impressive. Like this F1 came in on worm. There were several good fish caught on the worm. So anyway, let's go ahead and sell these fish, and then I will really quick show you the 3 setups we were using. Okay, so first of all, on line 1, this is our new Avia. Used this reel for the first time, and we were using a snowman rig with cream 12, cream flavored corn, cream. Because we have not unlocked classic pop-up yet, we haven't gotten 60%, this is the only way for us to be able to fish with corn. Which the cream corn is basically working the best at Copper right now, it seems like overall. So that was our first setup. I didn't start off. I started off with just pellets on the first one. So for a while we had just sweet cream pellets on the first one, and that was bad slow. So I switched it to that snowman. Now on the second rig, as you can see, we're using the Sputnik Pulsar. We could also have the Saber 60 on here. Either way, we'll be just rotating them until we get a third carp rod, I guess. And on this one, we had the sinking setup. This actually did pretty well. I think the snowman and this, if I had to like guess, I'd say they were about equal. I think a little longer test would help me see if that's really the case. Notice we don't have PVA. So what were we using? Mostly we were using this to feed the water. So size 20 hook, worm, catching all kinds of cool fish on this setup. And this is the ground bait we were using. Very easy to make ground bait even at a low level like we are. It's really meant to just attract carp and then just in general complement the baits we're using. But it's what we can make right now and it seems to work fine. So that's what we were doing. We also were, just when I started, we cast in that same ground bait, only 5 of them, at the same clip where we were fishing, just trying to get a little bit of a bite right there. So that's what we were doing. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you. We are up to 479 silver, just like that. A few cafe orders, catch a few fish, and the silver starts going up again. I don't know for sure what rod we're going to get. Like I said, we got these Mectas, and they're cheaper elsewhere, but here they cost $882. So we're not, we're already halfway to getting a second one of those, and maybe that's just what we do. The Model 2 does give you a little bit more room, but I think since we already have 2 Mectas, we'd probably just complete the Mecta set. If you wanted to be able to go to 28 kilo strength, the Model 1 is your answer, but you are getting more expensive. And I don't think we need, at this point, to go above 22 is the leader lead core that we'll be using very soon. Right now we have it on 18, but we'll go up to 22 since we've got this nice Avia on here. We just haven't made the leaders or purchased the new line, because we will have to get new line for that as well. So there's an expense to that as well. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. My desire is, I'm enjoying copper so much, and as we've moved back into the time of the year where I'm at work during the day, and I don't always have time to get a stream in the late afternoon or evening, some days I can just have enough time to do this. And my desire is to still be focused on fishing on my main account and showing you spots on my main account, but especially when it involves copper or older lakes, to be able to give you an alternate view with Cozy on, okay, so this is how I would try to approach it if I didn't have PVA. I don't know. Let me know if that's helpful, but that was kind of the thought I had. And I just love copper so much that it means that I get to fish at copper more often, which is cool with me. All right, as always, thanks for watching. Tight lines. I'll see you next time.